Welcome to another exciting episode of the $1 Million Peddlers. I'm Papergoy.
I'm Mr. Magazine.
And it's a hump day happy hour salute, and Mr. Magazine is half in the bag. So it's going to be a fun show.
I thought it was like December 31st, like the ball dropping, and we're watching the countdown. I almost missed it.
I want to thank everybody for coming on out, and we enjoyed, and that really is not the right word today, Springbrook Adirondack Straight Rye. And I'll tell you, I bought that at the Irondequoit 4th of July Festival.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't taste like that when I bought it.
No, I don't know what it had. Yeah, I don't know what it tastes like when it first went in my mouth, but it was not good. And then it did change, but still.
It obviously tasted good enough at the festival for me to buy it.
Well, you probably drank 38 shots before that.
Well, it was shot number 39. It tasted smooth as anything. A couple of people are here. Why don't you say hello, Mr. Magazine?
All right, so what am I going to go with?
Gracie.
What's the word of the day? I think I'm going to go with, there's no J's that go with John Jones that I can think of, jerky, juicy. There's nothing good. So I'm going to go with awesome John Jones today. He's in the house first out the bat. Awesome Michael. Awesome Linda. Awesome Lori. Awesome putting postcards. Awesome Steven. And awesome Linda again. Awesome See the Lights. And awesome Treasure Finders. And awesome Michelle. And I can't say awesome.
Awesome.
I should stop with the shots. The word is awesome. And the first 15 people get to use that word before their name.
Like you're really keeping count.
Exactly.
It's going to be a fun show today. Strap yourself in. And next week's going to be really fun. We got a really interesting topic next week, a really interesting situation next week that we want everybody on. But why don't we start today's show off as we typically do? How are sales? And I want to hear everybody out there. How are your sales? And you go first.
We'll start with me always. So Amazon is very good. Can't complain. They're high as it's been all year. We got a lot of stuff listed, over 300,000 listings. So we're knocking out comics. We're knocking out magazines, knocking out toys. So across the board, Amazon can't complain. eBay's the up and down. Like I said, Amazon's good on a Sunday. eBay's not good on a Sunday. So, eBayers are watching football. Amazon customers are not watching football. That's my take on it. But that's just for me. How about you?
I see a couple of people there mentioning how theirs are.
Awesome. Merity Benton, how's it going?
Well, Jen's enjoying public holiday in Australia.
Oh, good for you. Yeah,
nice.
Very good.
Use it in the list.
Yeah, exactly.
Not great.
Not great.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
All right. Steven Slow.
All
right. Pudding's always doing good.
Pretty good. Yeah,
nice. He's got the numbers for us.
There we go.
Yep.
A bit quiet.
Yeah.
I am going to go into unprecedented territory here. Putrid is what I aspire for. These sales are abysmal, which I believe is below putrid. It is all quiet on the Western Front as far as sales go. It is really, really bad. I continue to make excuses for the reason why. And
I'll tell you mine, but that's just my opinion.
Go ahead.
Because we're different. We have two different views on this whole whatnot thing. But I think this whole whatnot streaming stuff is, a little too much where you're taking more away from your eBay site when you have good stuff that you can be putting on there. But that's just me. I'm that way. And that's, my opinion. And I'm going to choose to go with eBay and Amazon and not whatnot. But that's just me. Because you got a lot of good stuff. You got the garage. You got the upstairs, the downstairs stuff. There's all over the place. Living room. And you can't get to it because you're dedicating a lot of time to whatnot, not what eBay. See what I got to deal with?
Okay.
I can't be that wrong. A little bit.
As Michelle was gone on a trip for a week and she's trying to wake her store up, Papergoy was gone Thursday,
True.
Friday, Saturday, came back Sunday and had to pack a lot. That is my excuse of the week.
Okay, all right.
I think I see another.
Well, pack a lot's good. It means you're selling stuff.
I think I see another segment, excuse of the week for bad sales. It's going to be wonderful.
We can
but
keep going.
The fact I was out of town for 4 days and I had very, very little activity on the account.
Yeah.
I did schedule one item to list each day. I did go on and answer messages twice a day. So I was a little bit active in the account.
Yeah.
But I wasn't listing very much. I guess I could have tried to do so from the hotel room.
Yeah.
But at least in the past, when I try to list from the hotel, the pictures don't match the rest of my pictures. when I've tried to list on mobile, you don't get all the same drop downs. So then it ends up looking different than it does otherwise. So I didn't want to deal with all that. I have in the past.
But don't you have a laptop and an iPad? I mean, it's a
No.
little, it's a, oh, I thought you did. All right.
No,
no. For me, it's a little easier just because it's bigger to, like, you know, when I go on Amazon, my account, can't see crap on the phone.
Well, no, plus they try to push you to use the app.
Yeah.
That's.
Oh, sorry. We'll go back there.
Ouch. I had a good weekend, but nothing since. Oh, that hurts. That's what I'm worried about. I do $300 whatnot shows, but I spend a ton of time on it deciding if it was worth it or not. There you go. Oh boy, Mr. Magazine is converting people. No.
Listen, if you don't have good eBay inventory, then you go with a whatnot. If you have good eBay inventory and you want money, like I need money. I got bills to pay, family, business to run. I need to sell 20 to.
Next week's show is going to be fun.
I have to sell $20,000 to $20,000 items to stay alive. I can't sell dollar Victorian trade cards. I just can't do that. But that's just me. We're not all the same. There's no wrong answer.
Wow.
No, not for me. No.
I haven't saved drafts, but I do. I do schedule the listings. So I'll pay the extra dime to get a listing to go up. So I did have at least one item going up each day while I was gone. I do think that's pretty important. And to spend a dime per item, I only did one item per day.
Yeah.
But to spend a dime, I thought it was good for consistency's sake.
Oh, who can't pronounce now?
That shot was not good. I don't know what it was. She works on a few each day. Okay. All right. So again, my sales are abysmal, I believe was the word. There.
Awesome. Lee's in the house. How's it going? Oh, hold on, Michelle. Something very important to say.
There you go.
Exactly.
See, so now we've got a bottom. Now we've got a bottom.
The problem is, no, we had a bottom. Apparently, someone on Whatnot told Papergoy that they sell for $1, so that's going to be his opening bid. But hey, that's, you know, we'll talk about that later.
My goodness gracious. Oh, wow.
Oh, awesome antiquarian bookman. See, I said that pretty good.
Lots of sales, too.
Good. Yeah.
Congratulations.
Because you're awesome antiquarian.
And you took all my sales. My employee does drafts so I can view and list. Okay.
That's cool, yeah.
Okay, yep. I listed a few things in the last week, but it's sad when you have to list every day to just get sales. Yeah, and that seems to be what it is. eBay's algorithm appears to like continuous activity on the system, basically doing things on there, whether it's revising listings, whether it's selling similar, whether it's listing new items, whatever it is. They want to see that you're active on there. And I was a lot less active over the weekend. Yeah. I'm sure their app keeps track of it. And obviously I was a lot less when I was gone.
Awesome, Paul. What's up?
Nice.
Yeah, hit the like. Awesome, Kelly.
Been hit or miss, but it's better than nothing. There you go. That's a good attitude.
Yep, absolutely.
Says the guy who was talking about abysmal. A couple of other things over there. I did sell one item on $1,000,000.peddlers.
Okay. Nice.
I did my 4 items on Etsy. And I did back-to-back days with a sale on papergoy.com.
Wow. I'm so jealous of the papergoy.com. I'm going to be honest. I can't sell anything off Mr. Magazine. It's crazy.
Well, what website would it be?
mr-magazine.com.
Oh, mr-magazine.com. Much like papergoy.com.
Exactly, yeah.
Shameless plugs over.
Something wrong.
What bothered me is I used to be able to list 50 items in a day and would always sell probably 5. Now none sell many days. Yeah, no, that definitely is. It's happening to all of us, so it's not just you. It's not like you're just doing something wrong in a listing. Well, you might be, but we're all doing the same thing wrong.
My employees, you never know.
How about buys? Did anybody out there get any buys?
Let's see. Well, for me, let's see. I bought a bunch of slot cars. I bought always buying magazines, always buying toys. But I got a big buy coming up Friday. Well, hopefully I can work a deal. Whole house full of Disney collectibles, toys from 1930s to 1970s. And I showed you pictures. I mean, there's cabinets upon cabinets upon cabinets of stuff all over the years. I mean, some really cool trains, Ferris wheels, a lot of tin toys. So I'm hoping to score that baby.
Nice.
Yeah. And we still got Georgia.
I was just saying
Saturday
this weekend.
Can't forget about Georgia Saturday, and then we got Boston in a couple weeks. So yeah, we'll be all over the country.
So I ended up buying, and I want to know if you guys bought anything out there as well. At Springfield Papergoy. Well, funny you should ask that. I met Ben, new to you provisions, and he sold me $50 worth of treasures,
Nice.
which are still in my vehicle. So
Oh, well,
I'm daring people to try to steal them.
you got to see the stuff that's still in my box truck from the last couple of years.
Exactly.
I take all the good stuff out, and the rest of it just sits in storage in there.
But big props out to Ben, new to you provisions. I do appreciate him for appearing on the channel. He didn't have to do that. I did ask him. He said certainly, and so really good guy, good to talk with. He gave me some whatnot tips.
Cool.
So Victorian trade cards for $1. So he was a good guy there. Because I was driving back on Sunday, I ended up missing out, but I want to give a shout out to local Ron. He did send me the Facebook post, which I would have missed otherwise. Remember how last week I went to the library sale?
Sure. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
About sheet music?
Yeah.
Apparently, they didn't sell a lot of stuff because they were literally giving away books for free on Sunday.
Wow.
Yeah.
Can't argue with that.
But I wasn't able. I mean, I guess I probably could have killed myself to make it, but I had just gotten back in town and I just said, I don't need any more books. But good to know. And that's just the opportunities that are out there for you if you're willing to look around and willing to deal. And that kind of ties into our main subject we're going to be talking about today about hustling. I mean, it's one of those deals. Now, you don't want to be the rude guy that shows up at the library sales and says, taking everything. Get away from my books. You don't want to be that guy. But certainly
nobody likes him.
I
feel like I used to be that guy at a lot of the auctions we went to. People hated me.
But they want the books gone. So I'm certain that you can sit there and take a whole bunch of them. And if you really want to be a swell guy, I'd like to donate $5 to the library as you take 40 boxes of books.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that.
Haven't been here in a while, Mr. Magazine.
Awesome East Coast thrifter. Have you ever known Mr. Magazine to not score a big deal like that? Of course, I scored the Atlanta deal, and we are flying out Saturday morning. I'm renting one 18-wheeler out of potentially 3 to do this deal. We're going down Saturday just for the one day to load up the first truck. The payload is 32,000 pounds, so we can get about 750 banker boxes chuck full in there. And then in mid-October, I'm renting a 18-wheeler with 2 laborers and a driver to go down there without us to fly down and waste time flying and hotel and all that jazz to get load number 2. And then if there's anything left over, I may do a third 18-wheeler or a Penske truck. So we got to be out by the end of October. But yes, we have my containers cleared out from the Pennsylvania deal back home. So hopefully we can fill that up with the first 2 loads.
Yep. And Random Neighborhood Kid is going with us along with another gentleman. We got to find out what he wants to be called on the show. And probably doing some.
I'm going to guess Greek power.
Probably Greek power. Yeah. We'll be doing some videos on that too. So we want to show you the logistics behind the deal as well as what the overall deal is.
I haven't asked her, but I'll ask her tomorrow. I'm sure she won't have an issue. And she probably won't even be there most of the time.
This is 78 records. Oh,
every time I see 78, it reminds me to get some out and try and list them because they're sitting around, It's just me. Yeah.
Good. 120 postcards sold too. Both were the ones. It doesn't happen so often. This happens so often. You put something or other up, and you're like, nobody's ever going to want this. And, we have a bolo. We shoot our studio videos before the live show here. And we had our bolo. And the one item that, one of the items that I showed was something that you saw in the haul video. And it was something that I said, there's no way this is going to sell because it was the worst condition one out of a group that I bought. It was the first one to sell, of course. Yeah. That's the way it always
Awesome. Works. Dawn is in the house. Thank you.
Oh, yeah.
And
you like that?
I don't know how that happened. Well, first of all, I didn't know what he was wearing, but he knew what I was wearing when I got here. So I think he wanted to coordinate with me.
Probably, yes. The colorblind guy coordinates. That's it.
Sure. You thought they was chartreuse.
Sure, bro. So I spent $600 over at the Springfield show. Was a lot of fun. It was really hard to find wholesale lots, though. It really was. People were just not doing that. And there weren't that many paper dealers over there. And the ones that were there, you just had to pick. They weren't really doing wholesale. But there's another show coming up in May that I'm hoping I'll be able to go to. So
there's a blast from the past. Awesome. Don the Enforcer's in the house. How's it going?
Now, a couple of little things that, one last thing, and we'll go back to Springfield. And I did get a buy from a subscriber who reached out to me and has 3 giant boxes, big enough that they have to send them UPS because it's cheaper to send them UPS from California, filled with ephemera.
Wow.
So
cool.
They basically bought all of the stuff, cherry picked about 40 or 50 items out of it that they wanted. And they're selling the rest to me at their cost plus shipping.
Cool.
it was a paper dealer local to them that was getting out of the trade.
Okay.
And just sold them all the stuff. They grabbed a few items, flipped the rest to me for costs. So they're happy. They got, 40, 50 items for their time and trouble. I'm happy because I'll be able to provide ephemera for whatnot auctions till the cows come home
Good.
at $1 an item and going to do well.
Wow, look at Enforcer just bought his first house with his whatnot proceeds.
Yep.
Good for you.
Or he could be sitting there long tail on eBay and buy a house in 23 years. But anywho, a couple of other things about Springfield. I know Mr. Magazine did not watch the haul video, but Mysterious Benefactor was not able to make it.
Wow.
He
wait, the trip entirely?
Yep. Well, he wanted to make it, but he was coughing up a lung in Chicago.
Jeez.
He literally
he was almost making it. He
wanted to make it.
He flew almost there.
Well, he had work in Chicago.
Okay. Oh, I got you.
And he actually wanted to come down, and I called him back, and I said, dude, if you don't feel, I want to come down, I definitely want to see you. I want to relax. I'm like, dude, you're driving 6.5 hours, getting in late at night.
Yeah, that's not good.
And then we're going to be going to the show, the game, and then you're leaving the next morning. That's not very relaxing. And then he calls an hour later and says, I just got out of a meeting, and multiple people asked me what was wrong with me because I'm coughing up a lung and I look terrible. I said, he goes, I don't think I'm going to come down. I said, obviously, because I don't want to get you sick. I go, well, thank you. And I want to congratulate Mr. Magazine because
thank you.
He's maturing.
Really? I
went into the store on Monday, and as anybody that watched the video knows, I've got a little mark over here. Mr. Magazine didn't even make fun of me for it. To anybody that's not watched the haul video,
it's hardly noticeable.
Anybody that didn't watch the haul video, I'll give you a little bit. We did a video a while ago about reselling accidents. And as everybody knows, I have no depth perception. I'm half blind. As my mother says, I'm blind in one eye, can't see out the other. And a gentleman had some comic books on a table. And I put my bag down, looked through the comics, nothing I wanted. He had a sign. Now, thank God it was a plastic sign, not a metal sign, in front of the table that was just above the height of the table. I bent down to get my bag. Boom, right into it. I started bleeding right from it. So do be careful out there. Reselling injuries are absolutely true, and I'm going to have the scar to carry with me for the rest of my life just to prove it. But thank you, Mr. Magazine, for not laughing at me.
Yeah.
Why don't you tell everybody about how off my game I was on Monday and why?
Yeah, you were definitely off your game. What was the reason? It was me. What
you.
What did I do again? I can't remember.
So usually I go into Mr. Magazine's at about 1:00 in the morning on Monday mornings, and I've got a whole pattern.
I was there before you. That's what
he was there before me because his alarm was going off. You had a little bit of problems.
Yeah, we thought there was a break-in at the shop and the apartment upstairs. Something motion must have fell, like maybe a box fell. So the authorities contacted me, and just to make sure no one broke in, I did go down there and I met Deddy, the laundromat guy, and everything was good. So I got there about an hour earlier than paper. I think I got there at midnight.
Yeah.
Like, what am I going to do? Go home for 45 minutes and come back? So I just stayed there printing orders until he got there.
Well, and you also had an issue with the vending machine too, as I recall.
That is true. Someone had kicked in the glass on the vending machine. So that's it was still functioning, but I had to contact the glass guy. So he came down today, and we'll have that fixed as well. It's got to look nice in there.
Now we're
always something going on.
That's what I mean. It always is something or other. I'm going to head on into, and I think we're going to blow up our chat with this one over here. There you go. Yeah. Except I didn't want any of his comics. The glitch of the week. And I think we're going to be blowing up the feed because I think eBay is preparing some sort of a surprise for their fall rollout. And there have been a lot of glitches. I know that one of our subscribers just got contacted from eBay that they have to update either their name or their tax ID number because it's not right for their 1099. And they're saying, I've been getting a 1099 for 15 years. There's never been an issue. Why is it all of a sudden an issue?
Yeah, right.
And those are the things that are annoying because best case scenario, everything goes right. It's 10 minutes out of your life. You're never going to get back to be right back to where you were.
Right.
There's no positive upside of it. And the worst case scenario is they start freezing payments and all that kind of stuff.
That's all I need.
Oh, it's not all right. It's not all right for something really, really silly.
And I had that negative 1,800 pulled out of my account. We called up. They had no idea what we were talking about. They didn't see it on their end. I said, well, I see it on my end at the bank. I can take a picture. So I just said, I got to assume they're right for whatever reason and just move on.
That is true, Don. I do talk about good content and I don't even show it. Well, that you may have had a problem, Mr. Magazine, because they're having all kinds of problems with payments. People were not getting payments over the weekend.
Oh.
And it was a known glitch, and a lot of people aren't getting payments. There also apparently was a glitch yesterday around 3 o'clock in the afternoon, according to e-commerce bites, that people were not able to print shipping. So eBay is a complete glitch fest right now on that kind of stuff. eBay open had glitches. Now that's funny.
Jeez.
That's funny. People have trouble paying. iPhone app. Well, that's true too. That's true. And I hear that the new iPhone update drains your battery for about 3 days, and then it'll even out and everything will be back to normal. But prepare for really bad battery for 3 days if you put down a new operating system on the Apple, because they want to get in on the. Everybody wants to say it's the most popular thing here.
It's cool to have glitches, apparently.
Yeah, everybody wants glitches.
Glitches are trending.
I had a case where I was listing, and this happened more than once. It happened 2 or 3 times. I was listing magazines, and I wasn't able to change the item specifics. Do you know why, Mr. Magazine?
Are they adding new ones?
They weren't there.
Oh, well,
there were no item specifics on the entire page.
I love that. I wish they were all like that.
I couldn't even do anything on it. And then later, later as I go through the listing, all of a sudden, boop, they pop up. The whole listing moves down and they show up. And I'm going, okay, if you want me to list the item specifics, make it easy for me. Don't make them disappear halfway through a listing. And it happened more than once. So that was obviously a glitch going on. I had a minor glitch myself on Whatnot yesterday. I accidentally hit run next, which is an option down at the bottom. And because the items you put into Whatnot just appear in whatever random order, it just started listing what apparently the next thing in my list, which was just randomly put in there that I had already run. So I'm talking over it going, let's all just ignore this. This is not what's selling.
Jeez.
But the worst glitch of all. So I was away, and this week's winner is eBay. I was in the hotel trying to do a little bit of business on the phone. I don't know how anybody can use their phone for eBay. I really, truly don't. And this is not an old man rant.
I agree. No, I'm there.
It is not, the app is not made for people with a lot of listings. I went to try to accept offers. I click and I tried multiple times. It said, cannot load all your listings because we have too many items. Right. I've got 20,000. You've got way too many items. It cannot cannot load all of your listings into the app. So then I went to the website, went to the classic view on the website, clicked messages, clicked for an offer because somebody had given me a message.
Yeah.
It never loaded where I could accept the offer. It just says you have an offer, and the entire email didn't load. I ended up finding a workaround to get that through there, but it took me 5 minutes to be able to accept an offer, to find a workaround to accept an offer.
It's crazy.
So I know that they are pushing mobile. I know a lot of people shop on mobile. I just don't think it's possible.
But they should push it for buyers, not sellers. You know what I mean? Or have a different app for the seller somehow. I don't know.
I mean, it may work very, very well if you're listing 5 items.
Yeah, right.
It may work wonderfully for that. But for our size, the app is atrocious.
That's for Popeye. Popeye's in the house. What's up? Awesome. Popeye's here.
Popeyes. Swimming in money. There you go. So yep, the app is absolutely unusable. Can't load items. You can't send offers. It's not meant for any volume sellers for sure. Whoa,
jeez,
that's bad, John Doe.
Sorry to hear that.
Sorry to hear that. Definitely. Then we're going to head on into site change as well. Is anybody else having an issue now? You may only be logged into one site, but I log into various eBay accounts. I help Mr. Magazine. I'm in mine, et cetera, et cetera. When I try to change accounts in the morning, I keep getting a CAPTCHA where I have to click and I have to be able to tell which one the lions are. And then it's 2 straight screens of telling which 3 are the lions or which 3 are the horses and which 3 are the horses. And it's a real pain when you're switching between sites. And each time, we want to verify you're human.
Yeah.
Tell us which ones are the lions. I told you yesterday which ones are the lions. They haven't changed.
So I wish you had like a 4-year-old kid and you'd have to ask them because you can't see. They'd have to do it for you.
That would be really, really nice. And then everybody's favorite site, Whatnot. On the seller side of things, is now showing every item says pre-bid. So I got super excited when I went on to sell. I go,
Oh, sure
everything
did.
is a pre-bid.
Yeah.
Pre-bid $0, pre-bid $0, pre-bid $0. So it says pre-bid, and you actually have to go through to see if there's actually a dollar amount pre-bid after it. So that definitely is a change, at least from the whatnot that I've had in the past. That was definitely a change. Load the website outside of the app to get it to work. Yeah. Yep. So there are workarounds, but it's a pain. Be careful swimming around in those.
It adds up.
Hit your head. Separate app for sellers, but it doesn't work very well either. Oh, geez. How hard is it to build an app?
Hey, pennies, exactly.
Nice. But a lot of whatnot listen regarding the stinking badges. Oh, nice. And I know they're doing all the site changes. If eBay is listening to us, instead of worrying about all these bells and whistles, bring back a loyalty program like eBay Bucks. Every other company out there has a loyalty program.
Yeah.
Have one. It's not rocket science.
Exactly.
You had one, but you decided not to have it. Oh, did anybody else buy anything on eBay this week? Well, obviously not. But I ended up buying something on eBay for myself, some shipping supplies, and then I bought some supplies from Mr. Magazine.
Wait, you bought the wrong ones, remember?
I actually bought the right ones eventually. And what comes up when you buy now is a little thing at the top that says the courier may reach out to you regarding delivery of your order and gives your phone number up there.
Okay.
I ordered envelopes. Why does the courier have to reach out to me? There's nothing too special about this. They can just drop them off like they have for the last 20 years.
Yeah. eBay Bucks. Yeah. I used to love eBay Bucks. I'd buy graded comics every month or a Star Wars figure I needed, just something, if it was 100, 200, 500, whatever.
Yep. Everybody likes the eBay Bucks. You can have credit as far as we're concerned, Popeyes. We'll give you credit if that helps any. I'm going to do a mini rant right here. This is the first hotel that I've stayed at in a long time. They don't have paper in there anymore. They don't have pens in there anymore.
You got to ask for it.
They don't clean the room unless you stay over 3 days.
Correct. Yep.
You get 2 cups of coffee.
And the price is doubled.
I'm there 3 days with 2 cups of coffee. I got to really milk that coffee. And then I went down to the lobby to leave because I left at 3:45 in the morning. Oh, we don't make coffee in the lobby till 4. Like, can I have my room key back? I'm going to go make myself a cup of coffee up in the room. So I actually drove all the way to Erie. So I went 5 hours or 4 hours without coffee.
Yeah.
Tell you, it was tough. So that was that. Now we're going to head on into item of the week. And this is something other you can find out there. 20 Star Trek comics for $24. Gold Key or DC or Marvel or who else does them? Pretty much everybody did. The IDW probably did that.
Yeah, I think you're right.
So item of the week. I bought this last week at the library sale. And I believe might have cost me $1, might have cost me less than that. But it is Bloody Sabbath from Black Sabbath. And this is a songbook. And anytime you find songbooks out there of rock and roll items, especially your library sales, those kind of things, you're going to pay $1 or less for them. The most I paid $1. I probably paid 50 cents for this over here. Not common. The old spinsters that are buying, the 1920s music to play under a piano were not buying Sabbath Bloody. Most of them were not buying Sabbath Bloody Sabbath. So it's an uncommon item, uncommon enough that I searched eBay. There weren't any listed. I searched Terapeak. There weren't any listed. I did a quick search on the web using Google Shopping and all that. I could not find any of these. So something rather like this, I'm going to be listing. I'm thinking it's probably, I asked Mr. Magazine what he thought it was worth last week. And he said probably around $50. And I have to agree with him. I think it's a $50 to $75 item.
Sure.
Hard to find. So if you're out there and you can find things like that, you definitely want to pick them up. I know a lot of people walk by songbooks. A lot of people walk by sheet music. Keep your eyes open for the rock and roll stuff. Another insider tip, watch for a lot of the newer stuff. A lot of the newer stuff sells because it does not have the very high print run on it.
Right.
And you can end up buying that stuff as well because people still want it.
Well, just like 8-tracks. 8-tracks are normally garbage, but if you had, Sabbath, Bloody Sabbath, any Black Sabbath, I'm sure they're very good. The metal stuff for sure.
Yeah. So do keep your eyes open for things like that. And I did want to bring that as the item this week, just to show you the kind of things that are out there for 50 cents to $1. And don't forget that like button. There you go.
Definitely.
Gonna head on into the insulting offer of the week. Mr. Magazine had one, and I love this one over here. Whoa, eBay took it down. It's a bootleg. Oh boy, that sucks. You can't sell it on Amazon either at that.
Yeah.
So Mr. Magazine got the offer of the week, and I love this one over here. He had a Michael Jackson, I believe it was an Entertainment Weekly magazine, offered, and he was asking $12.05 on it, and he received an offer of $1.17 on it. But the reason that I love that is 2 days later, when Mr. Magazine did not answer or did not do anything at all to the offer, the person made the offer the second time because Mr. Magazine must have missed his $1.05 or $1.12 offer.
Yeah, and I'm not saying it's a rare magazine. It's Entertainment Weekly, but I don't know, was it before or after he passed away?
99 or something like that.
But like, it was no mailing label, so it's very clean, good looking issue, and $1. Come on. Really.
But you're asking 12 on it.
Right.
That's the crazy thing about it. But for him to offer you a second time, because you obviously missed it in all of your offers in your email, and otherwise you would have rushed out to accept this.
How did I take my 90% off offer?
Rockstar. Oh, Neil Young, Paul McCartney. Nice. Very good. Yep. Nothing reasonable offers all week. See, and then I got an offer. I woke up and the gentleman had made me an $8 offer on a magazine, which I would not have accepted. But then he he wrote me a message. Please cancel my offer, all in caps, of course. Please cancel my offer on this magazine. I'm looking for March 1957 car life, not motor life. Sorry. I'm like, okay, it's very easy to cancel your offer because I wasn't going to accept it anyway. I'm going to take $8 on a magazine from 1957 in nice shape that I've only had listed for a year.
Yeah, right.
No, that's okay, but thank you. We're going to head off into customer issues now. Mr. Magazine has a customer issue.
And we just noticed it today. We're filming another show, and I looked at my feedback rating, and it went from 99.7 to 99.6. I'm like, that's a lot at this point. I've never been that low since I can remember. It's usually hovering 99.7 to 99.8, in a good 3-month period, sometimes a 99.9, depending on how things are. And so 99.6, we looked it up. So a gentleman that bought 15 Don Mattingly jersey cards from me gave me 15 negatives. He may have bought more, but he gave me the 15 negatives on, I think, pretty much everyone he bought. So I think we blocked him because his offers were getting lower and lower and lower, and I just didn't have time to deal with it. And, it was ridiculous.
I am leaving negative feedback because, I'm going to clean this up because he wrote like BC for because of T seller's lack of response to a half dozen messages. I bought 17 cards in less than 2 weeks and had no issues with purchase or delivery. However, I was then blocked from buying bidding on his cards, and my attempts to get an answer as to why were ignored. Preventing a repeat customer from continuing to buy is an incredibly poor business model. Ignoring repeated messages from this customer is incredibly poor customer service. I'm disappointed to have to leave negative feedback. Well, Mr. Magazine will be contacting eBay tomorrow to see if they will remove it because it has nothing to do at all with the product that Mr. Magazine sold.
Right.
And the second part of that is there is the ability on eBay that if you block a bidder, that you can also block messages from them. We have that turned on. Both he and I have that turned on. So he may have asked us multiple times about why he was blocked. We didn't receive any of those messages because we're blocked. He's blocked.
Yeah, right.
We cannot see anything at all that he shows us. Which obviously when eBay reviews the case can see that we never even got.
It is our right. We can block guys for low offers, right? I'm assuming with eBay policy.
Anyways, whatsoever. Yeah. Yep. But again, he's getting mags. We never answered them, but we never received those.
Awesome. Jiminy Flippets in the house. What's going on?
Hey, Jiminy, how are you? So I ended up, but I can't see and I don't use a cap. So I'm about the exact opposite.
Maybe a shower cap.
Someone's worst offer, accepted an offer for what I thought a buyer. One of my listings turned out was someone offering me an item. Yep, that does happen. Yep. So I ended up getting a neutral.
Wow, that's it.
Yep. So I got a neutral, and the neutral literally said it was an item that showed delivered. The gentleman never contacted me whatsoever, and his neutral was never got the item. Now, of course, I got the neutral while I was away. So I went on Facebook message and contacted eBay and said, item shows delivery. I was left a neutral. Can we get this removed? Unfortunately, they made me jump through a hoop or two, which is a little tough on the phone versus on the computer. They said, well, we need the order number. I'm like, oh, geez, I know the item number.
Right, yeah.
So now I got to write down the item number. I'm not good on the phone. I know you can cut and paste and all that. I'm not good at that. I wrote down the number, went into my eBay, found the order number, sent it off to them and everything like that. And then I had to click on a link that they sent me to log in to prove it was me, yada, yada, yada. And I contacted them at like 4:00 in the morning. They got back to me at about 5:30. The neutral was gone.
Oh, nice.
So worked wonderfully. Can say nothing but positive things about the Facebook Messenger as far as contacting eBay. Always been very, very helpful. And they will get back to you off hours. They must be on some really weird hours over there. Well, hours that I'm on. So,
right, yeah.
But it works out really, really well. So by all means, feel free to use that. It works a lot better than calling, I think, as far as that stuff goes. And then I did have another customer issue. A guy offered me $10 each on two $32 books, and I declined both of them. But then he actually bought another book of mine. He offered me $20 on a $24 book. So that's not bad.
Right.
Then he immediately, like an hour later, can you cancel that? I didn't realize it was X library, which of course I have a picture of it. I say in my description, X library, et cetera, et cetera. And I'm laughing because that's one of those guys that wants to offer you the price of a Yugo and expects to come away with a Porsche. And I did just ban him. I said, this is just one of those people that if he's offering me $10 on 32,
right.
Given that he was offering me $20 on the other book, it must be a $75 to $100 book in nice shape.
Sure.
And then as soon as he saw it was X library, he wanted it canceled.
Yeah.
Which means, it must probably be worth $25 like I'm asking, being X library. But he thought he was getting a $75 book, and then he's like, oh no, I don't want that. So kind of crazy out there with the customers out over there. I got something kicked off of Etsy.
Wow. Playboy.
No, even better. I got an email from Chad from Etsy's contact moderation team.
Wow. So
Papergoy is a bad person on Etsy because he dared to list July 1925 Needlecraft magazine. Wow. You do not want to list July 1925 Needlecraft magazine.
What's the reason? Do we know a reason?
As they said, they refunded me the fees. Items that feature demeaning depictions based on race or that otherwise promote or perpetuate racist stereotypes are not allowed on Etsy. So apparently Papergoy had showed an advertisement on the back page for Gold Dust Twins, whatever product that is, which had as their mascots two African Americans. And apparently that runs afoul of the rules. So I certainly am going to be very, very careful that if I do list any magazines that have like cream of wheat ads, I will not show the cream of wheat ad. No Aunt Jemima ads, none of that stuff as well. Again, it was just a warrant. Well, it was just kicked off and I was told it was removed. Didn't look like they're doing anything else, but I'll definitely be very, very careful. So be very careful listing that kind of stuff on Etsy as well. They're getting as bad as eBay is about that stuff, but Papergoy did get something kicked off.
Crazy.
X library, other than their name stamped all over the book. Just collectors don't like it, is what it comes down to. Could have the library thing on there. Sometimes they have special binding on it. They have special library binding. They'll have the card in the back a lot of times. A lot of times they got a lot of writing and all that kind of stuff in them. It's definitely a lower class book as far as the collector is concerned. However, the collector will take it over not having any book, except the gentleman that was buying for me, of course. I should have known better, Paul. I really should have. And I was pushing the envelope there. Oh, that was funny. So that was that. A couple of other little quick things. Let's see. Oh, Monday I had a Facebook auction over on. Wonder if there was reported some super woke AI. I bet it probably was a super woke AI. That would be my thought on that over there. Had my Facebook auction. Were you noticing any computer issues on Monday?
On Facebook? No,
No, in general.
No. I don't recall so.
Facebook was totally screwed up on Monday. I believe it was probably because the Queen's funeral. So I think a lot of people were watching the Queen's funeral everywhere, and I think it was using a lot of bandwidth and all that kind of stuff.
Sure.
And Black American on my eBay account, a few people go around reporting what they believe are offensive. Oh, geez.
I believe that.
So I held my Facebook auction, and there's a moral to this story over here. I started the auction, and a couple of people showed up, but only like 2 or 3. And it was a comic book only auction, and those usually do fairly well.
Mm-hmm.
First lot goes up, one person bids on it. They win it at $3, 3 Action Comics. Okay. Next lot, Elf Comics. I really need a hobby because I remember exactly what I was selling in order. Next item was Elf Comics. No bids. Archie Comics. No bids. Next lot, no bids. No bids. Avengers. No bids. No bids. And want to give a shout out to one of our subscribers, Jeff. He was in there. And he was talking with me and everything like that. He's an old comic dealer, but he didn't need any of the stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But he and I are talking, passing the time talking. But I'm looking, and at times it's showing 0 people in there. Other times it's showing 1 person there. But I'm chatting with Jeff, but it's showing nobody in there. So I said, oh, Jeff, you must have gotten kicked out because I've been here all along. So they're having all kinds of glitches. Well, I want to thank Jeff. He reached out to Craig, who is the one of the founders of the Vintage Syndicate and Ephemera. Craig popped in, said, hey, how you doing? Hopefully you have a great time on the auction. I'm going to post it. I'm going to shout out to everybody. All of a sudden, as soon as he posted it, 15 people came into the auction all at once.
Wow.
I ended up selling all 33 items I had listed. What I did is I ran back through the items I had to start with, $450.
Oh, nice.
So very, very happy on that over there. It's just crazy.
Yeah.
But the moral of the story is, as I'm listing Captain America, no bids. Daredevil, no bids. Detective, no bids. It was 15 lots with no bids in a row.
Wow.
And I was saying, I really should just fold up the tent. This is just not going well today.
Right, yeah.
I said, something? I promised an auction. I'm going to go through with an auction. All of a sudden,
Papergoy delivers. I've heard that before.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
But I felt that I promised it. Perhaps you were going to stop, not you, but some other person was going to stop by the auction and say, hey, I knew he was having these comics and I wanted the New Mutants lot. Let me come on in and I'll buy it. I felt that it was an obligation. I had to keep the auction going. Well, I'm really glad that I did when everything was said and done on that. So I guess persevere, is what what that taught me. And I definitely told Random Neighborhood Kid about that as well. Like, hey, look, I was going to stop doing it. I just kept doing it. It ended up working out really, really well.
Ron's in the house.
Hey, Ron, I gave you a shout out earlier.
You want to take some run in the asylum?
Definitely. When I get any selling offers, if you can't afford this item, I have several similar items.
Yeah, exactly.
Nice. I like that. That's funny. Literally no words and it was flagged. Yeah, definitely. First female millionaire was black for late 18. So bakery goods. Oh, wow. I did not know that. People know a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Whatnot. Sometimes see if I can snag some cheap card lots. Do you guys have a referral link still? Yes, I can get you one. Just contact us at milliondollarpeddlers@gmail.com and I will send you one over. Not a problem at all. Black American Facebook group.
Cool.
Yep. Nazi LP one time. Well, and as I noted, I got pegged on the foreign sites and for 3 days for the word signal because there was a Nazi magazine called Signal, even though my magazines were 1972 Popular Mechanics.
Yes, he is.
He's really, really into that. I can tell. See if there's anything else real quick, and then we'll get into the main topic. And speaking of whatnot, Mr. Magazine brought over a pile of $1 trade cards, so we're going to be getting
trade cards. They're trade cards that you're selling for $1. They're not worth $1 yet.
They're worth a lot more than $1.
Exactly.
We're giving away bargain. You do understand how this auction thing works, right? I put it up for $1.
Right.
It's worth 10. People go, wow, he's giving away great deals. They get into a frenzy. They say, we want to buy something that was owned by Mr. Magazine and being auctioned by Papergoy, and they pay $2 for it.
Exactly.
And we make big bank.
Big bucks.
I have to teach you how everything works.
Well, some people may think you're saying I'm selling trade cards worth $1, not I'm selling trade cards starting out at $1.
Oh, when they see them, they'll know.
Oh yeah,
they'll know.
Big time.
They'll know, bro.
There's only 10,000 more where those came from. Well, 8,000 maybe.
When they see that, trade card for the bakery in Xenia, Ohio, they'll know the value of it.
Yeah.
Hitler and Tojo pincushion. Oh,
whoa.
That sounds actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
I gotta be honest. That sounds like something I'd buy. Oh, and then one other quick thing I wanted to go. We'll get into our main topic is item specifics are definitely random. And the reason why I say that is because I am changing item specifics, adding the recommended ones and then clicking do not ask me again. I'm doing them not exactly in order, but I'm doing the first page. And I know where I am on the first page. And I know what I'm in there. And all of a sudden today, there were some that were not there yesterday that have been listed for, Analog Magazine that's been listed for 10 years that was not on the list yesterday is there today. What suddenly changed overnight that the bot said, oh, that needs this item specifics? Because if it had been on there before, I would have checked the box, do not remind me again.
Yeah.
So my theory, which I've got to watch this a little closer and see what ends up happening every month. I'm wondering if when the things automatically relist, if that doesn't reset and push them back in there to needing.
Well, it's funny you say that because I didn't tell you, we got violations from the photos, the black and white cheesecake photos with the nudity, frontal nudity there. And I had a new employee listing them. We told her all the rules. This is the category that it has to be at. This is the price and so forth. Well, and then I think she listed off an older listing from another employee. You have to have drop down nudes.
Yep.
So the first 50, day one, drop down nudes, everything's good. Day two, I think she started a new listing where it didn't show up or she forgot or whatever it was. There was no nudes drop down. Boom, we got whacked with like 30 violations like within an hour. It was a warning.
Yeah.
They ended up taking them down. We deleted them out, so I don't want to relist them the wrong way. And then she'll just relist them from scratch. So
yeah, yep, definitely.
And that's why I hate item specifics.
All right. I'm going to put you on the spot right now, Mr. Magazine.
All right.
Which do you hate more? Item specifics or whatnot?
Oh, whatnot.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, whatnot, yeah.
You would sit all day doing item specifics. What if whatnot brings item specifics in? Well, that.
Oh, I really hated that.
I've updated all my comics and checked that box. A week later, they were all on the recommended list again for the same fields that were filled in. Yep. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm starting to see too, because I'm going through in order as opposed to just randomly, and things are showing up that I know I've done before. I just absolutely know it. Crazy.
True. Yeah.
That's very true.
I get flagged a lot, and I'm sure, smaller people fly under the radar do not.
Kind of crazy. And sell summer, they do not ask option will reset and you go and recheck. Yeah, and I don't do that. These have just all been lingering. Just been lingering for years, and they still are showing up on the list even though they weren't there yesterday. Listing renewals is being bumped up your list. Yeah, I'm thinking so too, because I'm just starting to see that more than anything. Oh, very good. Oh yeah, he picked up a whole bunch of nice stuff real cheap, so he's going to do well. He's going to do very well.
Very good.
Going to head on into our main topic about hustling for reselling. And pretty much everybody watching this knows this already, that you definitely have to hustle. But the reason why I thought about this as a topic is because I was in Springfield, Ohio, 6.5 hours away from home, a couple of nights, had to drive both ways. And why am I out there? Well, I'm out there because I enjoy it. I was supposed to see the football game that I never saw. Thank you, Mysterious Benefactor.
Wait, you didn't even go to the game?
No. Well, he offered to give me the ticket, but I'm not a guy. I'm not going to go to the game by myself.
Yeah.
It was a 77-21 game, so I didn't really miss much. Although maybe they would have put me in, coach. I'm ready to play, and maybe I could have scored a touchdown too. Sure. Nothing against the Toledo Rockets, of course. But so I was 6.5 hours away from home, hustling out there, checking all these things in the heat, got some sunburn, got the injury, so on. Who did I see there? I saw a dealer that I've known for years from Rochester. that was set up there. So I started talking to her, and they drove an RV there and a car there. So they drove 2 vehicles 6.5 hours one way to be able to set up at this thing. And they're gone for an extra day because they set up the day before. She was saying that she has friends that were there from Nashville, Tennessee. Now, I don't know how far away Nashville is from Columbus.
It's far.
But I know it's
far.
not very close. And they were coming up there to do this. She said that she does 40 different shows a year.
Wow, that's almost one a week.
So pretty much, except the dead of winter, she's going around doing shows.
Wow. And
I overheard another dealer talking, and he was talking about how he had a situation where he had back-to-back shows day after day after day. So he had a Friday show, then he went to a different show on Saturday and a different show on Sunday.
Wow.
And
are these retired people?
This is what they do for their living.
You're right. But,
this is how they make
they're
their
older
money.
And that's their livelihood.
This is their livelihood. Yeah.
Wow.
You know, so can you imagine going to a show at 6 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning, setting everything up, putting it on out of there, then taking all the stuff that didn't sell, driving down the road. And if he's going to a different show, it's obviously not 5 minutes away. It's going to be a couple of hours away. Driving down a couple of hours away. I'm sure he was sleeping in his vehicle, getting up the next morning, 6 o'clock in the morning, putting all your tables out, all your stuff out, doing the same thing, hoping the weather's okay, then packing it all back up, driving a couple of more hours and doing the same thing the next day.
You asked me if I would do that.
Can you imagine doing it?
You know the guy across the street from my shop with the ponytail?
Yeah.
He takes all his big items out every morning and spreads them all out. It probably takes him an hour to do that. I wouldn't even do that, let alone drive and set up and drive back and pack up.
Yeah. You know, and these people are hustling, and God bless them. And not that anybody watching this isn't. We all are hustling. We're all hustling in our own ways. To me, that would be absolute hell.
Yeah.
However, to them, flying down to Atlanta and setting up 3 tractor trailers would probably be hell for them. It just would be.
That's 100,000 pounds total between the 3 trailers when it's all said and done. 100,000 pounds.
You know, or let alone the trip that we told you about when we went to New York City and we were, carrying boxes down in the elevator and running them up and down and all that
3
stuff.
blocks with a cart. I was in the pouring rain.
Yep.
I was going down. Oh, how did I do that? I would never do that. If you told me that nowadays, I don't think I would do the deal. That's a lot of work. I mean, I was younger. How long younger? 5, 6, 7 years ago?
Yeah, it wasn't that much younger. Yeah. No. You know, and everybody out there hustles like that. But you have to do it. And part of it is, we all got families to feed and, we got to put food on the table, etc. But part of it is also a love, because we could all get factory jobs and earn okay dollars and doing that. I mean, it's out there.
Right.
But we're our own bosses in the reselling, other than not selling Needlecraft on Etsy because they're our boss. But other than that, we're our own boss.
Yeah.
And we all hustle. Every one of us hustles. But it just was amazing to me to actually see somebody from Rochester, because it was the last person I expected to see 6.5 hours away. And she said, I do the show every year. So and she does it in May and she does it in September, the 2 big shows. Yeah. So she's out there every single year, twice a year, driving 6.5 hours to do the show. And I was running in my head, because I'm a numbers guy. I was running in my head what her expenses have to be. You're talking gas on 2 vehicles. And I'm pretty sure the RV does not get 50 miles to the gallon.
No. I mean, once you break down your time to whatever dollar amount you feel you're worth, you're losing money. I would think. You talked about the driving, the loading, the unloading,
Plus the cost of the items she's selling, and she sells jewelry and dolls is what she sells. Yeah. She's got some money into them. She's not buying the dolls for $1 a piece. Right. I'm thinking she's got to do $1,000 to break even at the show. Just $1,000 just to break even.
The tables and spots, how much do they got? It can't be cheap nowadays.
It's got to be a couple $100 probably. Right? Yeah. So that's crazy. Do you have employees quit after training?
Well, I have employees that quit after lifting 1 box off the shelf. So, no, I don't get employees like that. I think there's more work involved than they care to even do, like sitting at their desk or keeping it easy. But, it's not easy. And once they realize what's going on, they see me there early in the morning and I'm there late. So, the younger kids, no shot. Someone older, 30s, 40s might consider doing it if they know that field.
Right. Well, that's the other big thing too, is do they really?
Right.
Do they really know that?
Yeah.
My dream would be traveling the U.S. in an RV with my eBay stock, selling from the road, cherry picking postcards.
That would be cool.
Yeah, no, I
Yeah,
absolutely.
I would like that.
It's funny. I've actually thought about doing that as far as like, oh, that would be, a dream, except I would hate the driving part of it, to be honest with you.
Yeah, but in the RV, that'd be cool. It's
Right,
a house. So you're driving a house with your office in there.
No,
Even
no,
if
I
you want to have a
understand all
little
that.
trailer with, because you can load up how many cases of ephemera in a little trailer, and you go all over the country. And you could have 50,000 pieces back there.
Well, right. That's the nice thing about it
Yeah.
is you could print the labels out or just do the QR scan, and as long as
Yeah.
you find a post office in the town that you're near, you
Yeah.
could sit there and do it, and you can go all across the country meeting people. Probably end up doing a circuit, as a matter of fact, where
Yeah.
Popeye starts out wherever Popeye Central is and drives down through Carolinas, down to Florida, back around Texas, and back around, and then
Yeah.
he does the same thing every year, the same route
Yeah.
through the whole country.
Yeah. But the driving thing, it could be like, 4 hours away every day. What's 4 hours away that I can do something? You camp out there, whatever. Boom. Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah, so that part would be enjoyable over there. I don't know about the setting up and the hoping for the weather, because a lot of these things too is a lot of these dealers, especially her going to that show. She's not. There were a couple of dealers that I think were game time decisions. I think they were like, yeah, the weather is not bad. I'll buy a spot. They still have spots left. Like if I wanted to go to a local flea market, I could do that the day off, no problem at all.
Right.
If I want to go to a flea market 6 hours away, I probably have my spot in advance.
Oh, yeah.
As opposed to, let me just drive 6 hours to hope it doesn't rain along the way.
Yeah, right.
28 shows a year for 14 years. Wow. God bless you.
Yeah.
God bless you. I mean, that's all I have to say.
It's a grind. Yeah, absolutely.
God bless you. And leave the wife. Nice. And the main reason I say God bless you too is because I grew up doing the comic things with my dad, and he probably did 14, 15 shows a year, but they were all local shows.
Yeah, if you're doing mall shows and stuff, that's not so bad. An hour away, whatever.
And every one of the shows that they did was an inside show with tables provided, which is a lot different than outside shows where you got to bring your own tables. You got to set that stuff up. You got to worry about the weather. Do you have to worry about the weather in a comic show, in the middle of some venue? I suppose only in that can the customers make it there. But beyond that, it's not going to snow on your stock in the middle of a mall. It's not going to happen.
Right.
But I just want to salute everybody out there, and we all hustle in our own ways. We have to hustle, but there's also the love of the game, I think.
Yeah, absolutely.
You have to love it. For how many hours a week do you put in, Mr. Magazine?
It's got to be 80. Someone said 70. I started laughing because I know it's more than 70. I think 90 is a bit high, but I would say 80.
Yeah, you're putting in 80 hours a week. And if you count all of my endeavors from my day job, I'm counting that. If you count my day job, eBay, Amazon, whatnot, all the various things, I'm doing 100-hour weeks right now. I just am, just the way it is. But I love it. Maybe not the day job, but the rest of it I love. And everybody out there, I bet there isn't a person out there who's successful watching this that does under 35, 40 hours a week.
Yeah.
Just not. Just can't be done. Impossible.
Yeah.
So we wanted this to be kind of an uplifting one over there, and a salute you, because you all go out there and you're all hustling so much, and we all realize we have to do it. But God bless you. I guess that's really what it comes down to.
John, I have to meet you. We have a lot in common. A lot. I agree 100%. And I've been in retail just because that's what I was born into, but I hate retail. The people that want to say, no tax or offer me half in person. I guess I'm less insulted if I'm getting offered 50% through eBay than in my face in my retail store, but that's just me. But yeah, I hear you.
One of the biggest problems with the retail store, from what I've seen, is there are, and I'm going to try to say this as delicately as possible, but I think that the people out there that have retail stores will agree with this. There are 2 less lonely people in the world. No, there are a lot of lonely people out there in the world who, if they can, will treat your store like their coffee club. And they will come in and they will just stand there and want to talk for hours because they have nothing else to do, which is wonderful except it cuts into your ability to work because you don't want to be rude to them.
Right.
But they're not customers.
Right.
They're that little thing between friends / acquaintances, and they're in there and they want to stand there for an hour just shooting the crap about whatever. And you don't want to be rude to them and say, get out.
Yeah.
But the other side of it is, I've got a lot of things to do.
Exactly.
And yes, the Bills did great yesterday. That's wonderful. But I don't really want to dissect the entire game. And when I was helping my father out in his retail store, my cousin out in his retail store back in Cleveland, that's what ended up happening. There would be 3-4 people that would just come in every day and just hang out there for hours.
It's not even that. So even that I get too, they're trying to be nice, and I can always pawn that person off on one of my employees. But we get the calls, oh, do you buy sports cards? Yes, but not 80s and 90s usually. Oh, they're older ones. And then they come in, and I don't want to be rude and say I can't use them right off the bat. So I'll start looking through them. Then I'll tell them. But then I'm wasting 5, 10, 15 minutes. Or they'll take them out one at a time. Oh, look at this. Jerome Bettis. It's his 50-year card. Stuff like that. So now I'm not trying to be rude. You know, you and I can tell by looking at a box of cards if we want them or not. They're either going to be 1970s. You know, you could tell they're the cardboard. I'm sure there's stars in a big box, or if they're newer jersey cards or something. But if someone comes in with 88 Donruss or 9, I can spot those out when they walk in. And I tell them ahead of time, I go, just so you know, I say, don't get insulted. I can tell by looking at them in 1 second whether I want them or not, because, you know, they might get mad. So I tell them right off the bat, and I tell them, and they don't get mad now. So I don't know, just because I'm being honest or upfront. But, you know, and again, like today was like Pawn Stars. We had 10 people lined up back to back selling me stuff. I mean, I couldn't take a breath, and some guys wanted to talk and stuff, and they knew we were busy, and they're like, all right, hurry it up. You know, I didn't say that, but they were kind of like getting antsy, you know. But
right.
You know, you do the best you can, but yeah, you can't spend all day doing that.
No, yep. And you can get sucked into it. It is a big time sink. And again, you want to be friendly, you want to be nice. And I tend to be a bit of a sociable person. And I could definitely see that if I had a retail store, I would end up not, you know, well, unless I put them to work.
Yeah, nothing like, and people don't realize what our knowledge or what we've seen over the years. They'll, you remember the laundromat guy that we've dealt with time and time again. He'd come in with Life magazines, pull up, oh, look at the pretty advertising, look at the pretty picture. You know, like, I don't want to be rude, but like, I've got 5 of those issues. Yes, I know I pay $1 on those. Like, I can't say that to him, but I try to like take, oh, here, let me take a look, and I'll take him out of his hand so I can speed up the process, you know.
So now we're going to head on into, and keep the comments coming for sure. But again, you pat yourselves all on the back. You guys do a wonderful job.
That's a good question you should answer.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely count the sourcing time. No doubt at all. And I will say this. I think that my sourcing time on a given deal, and I'm going to throw this out there for Mr. Magazine, his thoughts. I think that I take more time sourcing a given deal than you do. Oh, yeah. Because I have diarrhea of the mouth. I mean, I know it.
Really?
I absolutely know
I didn't know that. What happened? What?
You better hope that I do. So I'll sit there and I'll talk to the person for an hour. Like when I purchased from my coworker this last week, I forgot to mention, I also purchased from my coworker. When I purchased from her, granted, some of it was talking shop with the day job, but I got there at promptly at 8:00 and I left at 10:00. So I spent 2 hours when I probably could have done the whole deal in 20 minutes.
Yeah.
You know, and that's not uncommon for me, because again, part of it too is if I'm buying from you, I want you to feel really good about the deal.
Sure.
I want you to feel very positive about it. You're going to call me if you find anything else. If any of your friends, you're going to have them call me. You know, and I'll put the extra time in for that. But I also just enjoy talking to people. Yeah. So I waste a lot of time yapping.
Well, for me, it's a lot of time I have to explain how I get to my price when these people, like even the guy with the Gene Autry stuff today, he got less this time. I had to explain to him what was missing from the first deal, that he got less, condition, slow market, you know, all that jazz. Yeah. So.
Do you think anybody might disrupt the card mag rating market these days? It is graded or barely worthwhile, which is dumb and costly.
You just got to be smart grading the stuff, really. If you know you can get a 7, 8, or 9, and it's worth $30 to grade it or something, and you can get, you know, double, triple your money, then it's worth it. Or you have nothing into it. You know, like I get all those Sports Illustrated graded. Even if they come back 7 and 8s, I'm going to get $100 minimum, and it's costing me $40, $50.
The other side of that too is there are a couple of comics out there that I had as a kid. And I know a lot of people, I know when we did the interview with Dan Fogel, he absolutely does not like grading at all. I happen to like the graded comics. it protects them, in my opinion. And I just happen to like them, and I think that they display better. I prefer a graded comic myself. I've got a couple of comics out there that I have picked up, and I picked them up for a song for less than the grading because they're low grade Bronze Age.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm looking at it saying, this is a comic that's worth $3 in condition. I picked it up for like $12 but it's graded. Right. The grading costs somebody $30.
Yeah.
And I happen to like the display. Yeah. So I guess the point of that is don't always just grade because you want to make the money. Obviously, if you've got good items in high grade, or you've got a 33 Gaudy Babe Ruth, you have to get that graded to be able to sell it. You got a Jordan rookie, you have to be able to get it graded to get it sold. Yeah, those are different things. But leave that stuff out. Sometimes you just get stuff graded because you just happen to like the look of it. And you're like, hey, I just want to preserve this, and I like the way it looks. Yeah. So I tend to look at grading as not just being about the dollars and cents at times. Because again, I happen to like it. But I'm in a minority.
I agree
on that for sure.
The cards, I always like grading. I don't collect cards much anymore, but the comics is something I got into it over the last year or two. I had none 2 years ago. Now I got 300 graded comics, so it's crazy.
Wow. Holy mackerel. All right, we're going to head on in and keep the comments coming because we always come back to you one last time before we leave. We're going to come on into the rambling story of the week. And this one I thought of, and maybe I've shared this one before because I don't remember anymore what I say to who, but we're talking about I am 77 weeks, 2 days away from retirement. And a lot of the people, but who's counting? And a lot of the people that I saw out there at the antique show, if they're not retired, they're definitely older. So they may have retired from their day job. Now they're doing this, or they're slowing up and they're kind of doing that. So we've all got to think about what we're going to do when we're retired. Now, of course, I'm all set up to do the things that I'm going to be doing with the eBay and whatnot and all that sort of thing. But I had a situation where I had to go do an audit on a farmer, and the farmer's wife said, "Oh, you'll be doing the audit with my husband next year." And so I said, "Oh, okay, cool." So the next year I came out and I was doing the audit with her again, and they were elderly. And I was afraid something or other had happened. So I asked, and I said, how is Bob? "Oh, he's doing fine. He's out in the barn working." And I said, "Oh, I thought he was going to be retired and, doing the audit with me." She said, "Oh, he retired." That lasted for about 1 week. And after 1 week of him telling me why I was washing the dishes wrong, why I wasn't ironing properly, we both decided maybe he should go back out and work. So if you're a guy and you're retiring, do not attempt to streamline your wife's domestic duties, because although we will find a better way to do it, you'll end up doing it. So better to just let her continue to wash the dishes the way she's done it for 50 years, even if it's not tremendously efficient.
When my wife cooks, I always tell her it's good, because if I tell her it's not good, she'll stop. So even if I get 2 out of 4 good meals, I say they're all good, and they keep coming.
There you go.
See?
There you go. So,
see, I was thinking the same thing. See, in my mind. See? Jeez. I guess we all were.
Everybody is now. Retired nurse in Lubbock, 5 years. Oh, wow. Congratulations to you. Nice. Yep. Congratulations. All right, everybody. It was a really fun show tonight.
Flew by. Flew by.
Couple of quick little things. Reminders, come over Monday, Vintage Syndicate and Ephemera, 4 p.m. Eastern. It's going to be a mixed lot auction. Going to be a lot of fun stuff. Did pick up a few things out at Springfield that I definitely will be bringing to you, and a few other things as well. So, wow, 4 years. Wow. Don't talk. Well, I can't not talk. Stop by tomorrow, Thursday, 4 o'clock Eastern, over on Whatnot for the comic book auction. $5 starts. And stop by next Tuesday. $3 starts on lots of trade cards. That's right. $3 starts on lots of trade cards. Tuesday at 4 p.m. That's going to be a lot of fun over on Whatnot. And do stop by next week. Next week is going to be a terrific show. We are going to ask you to be the jury. Mr. Magazine and I differ on a couple of different things. And we definitely want to bring it to you. And you guys will decide in the feed which one of us is right and who's wrong. And
or there's no right or wrong answer. That's what I say, but that's just me.
No, though. They'll definitely find one obvious person is incredibly right and one person just a moron.
Wow.
Wow.
I can't believe you called yourself a moron.
I'm fighting words. I know you're one of mine.
Yeah.
So stop by next week. It's going to be a lot of fun. You guys are going to be the jury. You guys are going to decide and put this argument Mr. Magazine and I have been having all day long to bed, and hit the like button.
Oh, don't forget, if anyone's near Austell, Georgia, Saturday between 9 a.m. and 9 p.m.
and has a strong back,
yeah,
come on by. Or you can bring us coffee.
True.
The hotel won't have it. All right. Hit the like button, and we will see you next video.
Take care. Bye-bye.